Let's go down Texas way. It's the same stadium that Ohio State's season ended in disappointing fashion last year. That was to Mizzou. This, though, a lot more on the line. Coach Sark leading his Longhorns out of the tunnel. These Buckeyes coming in favored and showing why. It's 7-7. Will Howard to Travion Henderson. Perhaps a broken play. You complete the pass behind the line of scrimmage, and there goes Henderson. 75 yards on the pitch and catch. The longest play allowed by Texas's vaunted defense all season. Ryan Day, loving it. Steve Sarkisian, struggle bus. Ohio State's up 14-7 at the break. Let's go into 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Quinn Ewers, a strong statistical day for a guy who had been doubted and maligned coming into the playoff, finds Jaden Blue. Blue, you're my boy. We're all square at 14. Here comes Will the Thrill Howard. Nobody calls him that yet. But look at Chill Howard, under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Keeps it on a QB draw, 4th and 2. Breaks it out for 18 yards. Did the turf monster get him? Yes. Was it still a first down? Also, yes.
Scary monster.
Only 18 Ohio State first downs on the day. Quinshawn Judkins, 1 of 2 rushing scores. 15 games with multiple rushing touchdowns over the last 3 seasons, most in FBS. It's 21-14. But here goes Quinn Ewers to Gunnar Helm. Look at the time that they gave him in that pocket. He steps up, finds Gunnar. We're just displacing humans down the line, pointing at him. Oh, but you get 15 yards for pointing. That's not great. Ewers to Matthew Golden, gain of 27. Golden found a spot in that zone. 2 grabs, 51 yards, 23 of 39, 283, and 2 scores for Ewers. First and goal from the 1, and you lose 7 yards. Quintravion Wisner is strung out, and here's what Sark said. We had a plan to try to get the ball on the edge. One of those plays, if you block it right, you get in the end zone, and we didn't, and you saw why. It's blown up, Texas going in the opposite direction. A spot shadow on Jack Sawyer. You see it, we see it, and now Quinn Ewers sees it. That was his former roommate at Ohio State. Remember, Quinn began his collegiate career there with TOSU, and the next play is Sawyer on 4th and goal, and Sawyer gets home, and a room service bounce, and then it's rumble, young man rumble. 83 yards for Jack Sawyer. That is the longest in Cotton Bowl history. It's the longest fumble recovery touchdown in a college football playoff game. And we go picture in picture like it's the 90s at your friend's basement. It's Ryan Day top left. It's Coach Sark top right. They both knew how this thing ended. It's the end of the line for Texas. First time since 04-05 we will not have an SEC team play for a national title. Instead, the Big Ten is repped by Ohio State. Here's Ryan Day on Jack Sawyer.
I can't say enough about Jack Sawyer. He's a guy who loves being a Buckeye. He loves his teammates. He's done everything we asked him to do. He's a captain. He's everything, that we could possibly ask for in a captain. And to make a play like that in that moment, we talked about before the game, if you want to leave a legacy behind, you become a legend. He just became a legend in Ohio State.
I kind of blacked out on the run over when I picked it up, but coach has put us in a great position to. Top 10, man! Top 10, man!
Let's go back to your blacking out on the run. Tell me about that touchdown run.
Yeah, I was just put in a good position by the coaches, and I saw the ball popped out right to me after I tackled him. I was just thinking I just got to keep staying on my feet because, like I said, I was almost blacked out when I scooped it and saw nothing but green grass ahead of me.
I know you and Quinn were roommates. Did you have a chance to talk to him after and talk about the play?
Yeah, I did. He was walking off, he said, "Screw you," and started laughing. That's my boy. Obviously, we were roommates when he was here, and got a lot of respect for him and the rest of the Texas team.
I felt him. I started drifting away. Thought I was going to be able to get the ball off before he got there. Obviously, it's not like I tried to give them the game, but, I saw Jack running with the ball down the sideline, and, it sucks, man. But, he's a great player, great individual, great person. We, like you said, we were roommates when I was up at Ohio State, so, it sucks. It sucks, but, Jack's a good player, and he made a great play.
Well, let's sort of qualify that. Jack Sawyer being a great player. He's the first Big Ten player to have 9 or more sacks and multiple defensive touchdowns in a season in the last 20 years. The only other players to do that in a power conference over that span, Jonathan Allen and Melvin Ingram, both of whom ended up being first-round draft picks.
Jack Sawyer in the senior class said that they came back for their senior season because they haven't won anything yet for Ohio State. Now they're 1 win away from winning the whole dang thing, as Manuel joins us now on SportsCenter. How did Ohio State effectively end this game? Everybody going to be looking back on this goal line stand.
Yeah, good morning, Gary. And we, as an offense, would always say, if we can't get 1 yard, we don't deserve to win. And that's exactly what Ohio State did not allow right here, man. I mean, just the way that they could bow their neck and stop the Texas offense from getting 1 yard. And right here, you try to have a lead. Right? So you bring in jumbo package right there. It's 13 personnel, 1 back, and then 3 tight ends. Now, the middle's closed. Now let's go to the outside. Too much speed. Caleb Downs, the safety, knifes through. He slows up Quintrevion Wisner, and he goes down as well. And then the pressure from Jack Sawyer, the roommate of Quinn Ewers, man. I'm like, dog, give me a chance to get the ball off right here, Roomy. But then the last play right here, coming off the edge, the right tackle. Can somebody please block Jack Sawyer? Obviously not. The ability to scoop and score, and then the speed of the big fella to take it back to the house. We saw the top 10 for SportsCenter. I'm going to say top 10 potentially for the NFL draft. And like I said, if you can't get 1 yard, you don't deserve to win. And that's exactly what happened right there by Ohio State's defense.
Now a couple plucky upstarts are going to be playing for the national championship January 20th. That's next Monday. Ohio State's offense is great. Their defense might be a little bit better. What is Notre Dame's offense up against with this Ohio State defense here in a couple of days, EJ?
Yeah, well, look, Gary, that's the key question, or key word, is they might be. I don't know. I think these defenses are about the same, really, because you see the stoutness up front with the front four. But the big key for Notre Dame, beside their defense, they got to start fast on offense. And that's going to be relying on Riley Leonard's ability to run. And as I was looking at the stats before the Orange Bowl, if he goes over 30 yards, Notre Dame wins every single game they play. So that's going to be the big key. But also, you still got to take some vertical shots against this Ohio State offense. You do not want to get into a situation where Jack Sawyer and JTT and these guys could stack the box and slow up the run, being really gap sound, slowing up that run. So I just expect Riley Leonard to really try to have a similar game that he had against Penn State. And the last thing, too, the turnover margin. Notre Dame must win the turnover margin if they want to stay in this game and only have a chance to win in the fourth quarter.
Ohio State won a national championship a decade ago. 10 years later, they could run it back. Will Howard, he won a Big 12 championship inside Jerry's World 2 seasons ago as the quarterback for Kansas State. Though he's 0-3 in his career versus Texas. That, of course, when he was Kansas State's quarterback. How would he fare this time around with a trip to the Natty on the line? He hit 7 different pass catchers in this game. 3rd and 9 of the Texas 41. We're moving the sticks here. Gee Scott Jr., 5 catches, 30 yards. Next play, it's 4th and 2 at the Texas 34. He's gone until he wasn't. Little turf monster. Little turf. He said he fell on purpose. And then he hit us with a JK after the game. You'll hear it. 18-yard pickup for Howard. A few plays later, Ohio State 2nd and goal at the Texas 1-yard line. Quinshon Judkins, he'll punch that in. For Howard, 24 of 33, 289 yards, 1 touchdown, a QBR of 90. That is very good. Will Howard, after punching his ticket to the Natty.
That 4th down was huge, man, and they came out and gave us a good look for the play, and O-line blocked it up well, and yeah, I fell on purpose. I'm joking. I didn't fall on purpose. I should have been out. It should have been a dang touchdown, but I was trying to keep a couple seconds on the clock. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it was a great play and a statement drive. You know, we needed that. We've been beating ourselves all day with penalties and you know, just getting behind the sticks, and that was a statement drive.
Man, it's easy to have a good sense of humor in the postgame press conference when you come out on the winning side. He's EJ Manuel. He's back with us on SportsCenter. And it's time to open up EJ's manual, only this time you're putting a QB in the spotlight for something they just did and not what you expect them to do. So what stood out to you about what Will Howard did to Texas?
Well, Randy, the biggest thing was there was aggression from Will Howard, but there was also a lot of patience. And the reason I say patience, when you have a lot of zone coverage, which is really the way that Texas defense wanted to try to control Jeremiah Smith, you have to be patient, but you also got to be on time. So this first play right here, you're going to see the motion. You bring in G. Scott, and I love the read right here because you got a drop defender. This is a fire zone blitz, so you got it from the field, and you got a defensive end right over here. You got to get this ball over the DN's hands. Will Howard's been living right because this is real lucky, but it gets there to the receiver, Carnell Tate. And again, when you got zone, you have to be patient and take what the defense gives you. Right here, 2-high shell, all right? They're dropping 8 again. Actually, this is just 7. So, again, you have to be patient. And watch Will Howard negotiate with his shoulders and with his eyes. He's going to move this linebacker to his right to open up the zone on the other side to Emeka Egbuka. And I love the accuracy right there. You put the ball on the heart of Egbuka. He can cover himself up, protect himself, and take that hit. Now we got the drop 8. Okay, So this is where you got to be really patient. I love the ability to sit back in the pocket. You only got 3 rushers, but again, the ability to be patient, but also still be aggressive. You're going to give a quick pump to your left, and then you got to have the trust to bang G. Scott in this hole. He's not open right now, Randy, but boom, he puts it in a spot where G. Scott can run through that zone. He catches it, able to, again, cover himself up and then protect himself. Game on the line. It's tied up, 4th quarter, 4th and 2. Who does Chip Kelly want to put the ball's hands? He wants to give it to Will Howard, and I love this play call. And then you got the roar from the turf Mustang right there, and I'm not mad about it because all we needed was a first down to move the chain. So the biggest thing I love from Will Howard, yes, he did have an interception, but he was accurate, he was patient, and he was still aggressive. And I know Jeremiah Smith didn't catch a lot of footballs, but this is a anybody can get it kind of offense. So if it's not Jeremiah Smith's day, if it's Carnell Tate's day, if it's Emeka Ibuka's day, ultimately it was Will Howard's day, and he's a huge reason why Ohio State won this football game.
And that impressive stat line could have been even better had there not been that drop touchdown pass right there on that first drive. Instead, they ended up running that football in. Okay, so it's Ohio State against Notre Dame in the final. That means we have a Jeremiah showdown. You have wideout Jeremiah Smith there for the Buckeyes, and you have Jeremiah Love for Notre Dame. So which Jeremiah is going to be more important with a national title on the line?
Yeah, if you want to look at this specific game, it's going to be Jeremiah Love of Notre Dame. He's going to be more important. The big reason is because they run the football. And you know Riley Leonard's going to have at least 10 to 15 carries throughout this game. But you have to have a running back like Jeremiah Love healthy enough to still respect the running back run game. Now, Jadarian Price is a good back as well, but, you know, like I said with this Cotton Bowl we just saw, Jeremiah Smith only had 1 catch throughout this game. It really didn't matter. Ohio State was able to still get production. So Jeremiah Love, hopefully continues to get a little bit healthier, but he is going to have to take the edge off from Riley Leonard to help him in this run game. And you go back to the Indiana game, the 98-yard explosive touchdown. If he can do those types of things against Ohio State, they'll have a better chance to win this ball game.
And about 10 days to get even healthier there for Love. Ohio State, Notre Dame, Monday, January 20th on ESPN. EJ Manuel, we appreciate it.